Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create flying cars in Unity 3D. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have yourself a flying car game in which you can score points by going through golden rings in a scenic background with mountains covered all over. This futuristic game is what I'm showing you right now, and that will be the end project. So without further ado, let's get on with this video. Firstly, we'll open the Unity Asset Store. Here, you'll download and import the Flying Systems Asset Pack by Woody's Game, and this will allow us to have that flying car controller in our project with all the code pre-made. Once you download and import the Flying Systems Asset Pack, what you can do is that you can head back to the Unity Asset Store. Next, you can download and import the Low Poly Prototype Starter Pack by Off Axis Studios, and from this asset pack, what we'll get is a ring that the flying car will fly through for points, as well as the beautiful scenic background in our game. Once you've downloaded both asset packs, what we'll do is that we'll go to the Flying System Assets. There, we'll go to the Flying Vehicle subfolder. Then we'll go to the Demo subfolder. Then we'll go to the Scene subfolder, and we'll open that scene. That is a scene that we're going to be working in. In the scene, you will see a road and the flying car. What you can do is that you can make the flying car a lot bigger. You can make the dimensions for the scale 20 by 20 by 20. You can do the same thing with the road and make it 300 by 300 by 300. And then position the car on top of the road just like this. Next, you can play around with the car on the road and sort of lift off and take control of this flying car controller. You can see exactly how it moves and have fun with it. Once you understand and get a feel for the controls of this flying car, let's move on. Next, what we'll do is we'll go into the Off Axis Studios subfolder, then the Polyworks subfolder, then the prefabs, and then further we will go to Atlas and then Prototypes. Here you'll see the mountain and the terrain. It'll be titled Proto Terrain and Proto Terrain Mountain. What you can do is that you can drag this into your scene. And then when in your scene, you can position it just like I have here. So it's a beautiful backdrop for your flying car to navigate in. Then, in the same Atlas subfolder, you can go to Prototypes and then Blocks Blue. You're going to see a prototype called Proto Block Tube Round. You can also drag that into the scene. Then what we'll do is we'll create a new material and we'll call it Hoop. This material will make perfect gold. Block Tube will rename that game object to Ring, and then we'll drag this material into it and change its dimensions as seen to 500 to 100 to 500. Then you can feel free to position that around the map. These will be the rings that the flying car will go through to score points. So during the game, what the player will do is that they'll drive the flying car into one of the rings and score 10 points. In the ring object, what you'll do is that you'll create a game object inside of it, and it'll be an empty game object. Then you'll create a sphere collider and position the sphere collider like I have here so that it covers the inside of the ring. This way, when the player wants to go through the ring, our game will be able to sense that they have been going through a collider detection. Next, we'll create a script in this game object as well. It'll be titled Hoop. In the Hoop script, please use the code that I have here. Firstly, we declare two variables, points and scored. And then as soon as there's an on trigger enter, which means that the car's collider interacted with the Hoop's collider, we know that the player has scored, and then we run these lines of codes to add points to the player's score and also destroy the hoops so that the player can tell that they have scored themselves. What we'll do next is that we'll create a score manager, and this will be an empty object in the hierarchy of Unity. In that score manager, just create a script with the same name called score manager and add this code that I have here. This script will take care of managing the player's score and sort of facilitating how when the player interacts with the hoop, it'll add 10 points, and it'll also update the text on the screen. And then what we'll do is that we will drag and drop the already existing directions text into the score manager. This means that when the score wants to get updated, The directions will be removed since the player would have already understood how to control the car, and it'll be replaced with the score, so it'll be like score 10 or score 20 as the player goes through hoops. And this way, the player can challenge themselves in this game to navigate their car into the hoops while flying to get the maximum score. And that's the point of this game. What we'll also do, in case you haven't already, is make the collider for the ring trigger for the empty object as well as the ring itself. And that way, the car will not face any difficulties in going through the ring, as it won't actually collide with the ring. It'll just register the collision and increase points accordingly. In case you're facing any compiler errors, you can restart Unity because we imported lots of assets, and that usually takes care of those compiler errors. Now with all of that out of the way, let's play this amazing game, and I'll give you guys a couple seconds of gameplay of what your final project should look like. Additionally, all the scripts are in a GitHub link, which I've included in the description below. This video was incredibly difficult and took a lot of time to make, so I'd really appreciate that if you liked it, leave a like as well as a comment and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Check out more videos here.